You know what? After talking to you, I think you know a lot more about audio than Marcos. Welcome back to Hifi. I'm Kurt, and Marcos is not here, but he doesn't know much about Orelle anyways. A lot of you guys wonder why Orelle. In this video, I tell you the reasons, who they are, and why we chose it in terms of our reference controlled variable amplifier. Since the beginning, we narrowed it down to a few amplifiers that we do use after really thinking about what we should use as our kind of test bench amplifier for our reviews. Why Orelle? Well, one thing is it really means a lot to me. This is how I got started in the industry. This was, I shouldn't say started, because before that I was selling kind of mid hi-fi stuff when during my university days, and it just so happened that this product ended up launching me into the working in the higher end business, and this was in the, I'll say, in the early 2000s. Long story short, what happened is I met, who is still a good friend of mine today, his uncle owned Orelle, and this is while we were studying business in university. And I remember at first I found out that his uncle owned Orelle, and at the time as a broke student, I couldn't afford to buy anything high end. However, I really wanted to, so I begged him and I asked him if there's any way that his uncle can sell me one of the products at just the raw cost, just so I can actually have a higher end amplifier that I always dreamed about. So what happened, instead of me buying one of these amplifiers, which was the initial thing I wanted to do, I just somehow stumbled in becoming a representative for them. I still remember doing this while going to school. So all the business to business clients that I would have, so other dealers in stores throughout Canada, which was basically my job, was to help promote Orelle in the Canadian and possible North American market while still doing it at school. And I'll still never forget, I had my phone, I'd be sitting in the study center studying, but a lot of times I was working on promoting Orelle throughout the nation. What that led me to being is really understanding even how to market an audio product. And I would do all the trade shows, from all the setups to the trade shows. I was on the road in the US, Canada, visiting so many stores, and eventually what I did is I added more products and became, at that time, a full distribution house, which I couldn't, which I still believe I was actually got to experience that at that age. During that time, I won't go through it in detail, but we end up having products from BC Acoustic, Cord, Moscad, Ecos, and just a lot of really good brands kind of under our umbrella. It was probably one of the most interesting and best times of my life. Doing what I loved so much was being in the audio industry. And it really all is because of this. So, that was over 10 years ago since I left the distribution side and manufacturing side of audio. I still know this well, and this is one of the reasons why we're using it. Simply is, I really know this product like the back of my hand. I've used it in so many different shows with so many different speaker companies, from everything from Reference 3A to Bowers to so many. I've matched this and partnered with at so many different events. It's part of my collection. So if I don't understand this product, then I really don't know what other products I would understand. So which is the good thing is, when I switch out a speaker, I know exactly, is it the speaker that's causing this? If I switch out the preamp, I know what the preamp's doing, and I know what the power amp is doing. So there's really no guesswork when we're doing these reviews. And one thing is too, is just, I think it's unique. Overall, I think, a product that was released kind of in the earlier 2000s, it's neat. It's got the volume knob on here, which has a really good feel to it, and it kind of follows the whole curvature of the casework itself. The only thing I would have to say with this is, I always found the buttons a little tiny on there, but everything still had a nice, it had a nice click to it, and overall it's just a neat piece. And when deciding, when I starting Hifi, this product is no longer, or this company is unfortunately no longer around anymore, it made sense. Because this way, if I was using a brand that still might be current, there might be a little bit bias towards it. But with this one, there can't be, because they're not around anymore. I also wanted something that was traditional Class AB sound, and also this not just from, I think it's really good because this has so much meaning to me. It has won so many products in the past. It was editor's choice from Hi-Fi News. It won one of the best buys from What Hi-Fi. I remember it won the 5 Globe Award in one of their integrated amplifiers for Hi-Fi. What is it called? Did I say it already? Hi-Fi World. And yeah, just so many other publications and reviews at the time. This really did stand out. And today, this does still hold its own. You can compare this to a lot of the great brands out there, such as Name, Exposure. There's so many brands out there. It really does still keep up with some of the best of them. And really, that's it. This is the reason why I chose Orelle and why it made a lot of sense. And I think it's, I will always have this in my collection, as one of those memories of how this whole audio journey and me into the business, really how it started. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in on the next videos.